All right, we have some recruiting news possibly coming down the road. That's what the reports are. That something is going to happen soon. Beyond that, don't really know. But it could be a domino that knocks down some more and finally gets the recruiting results that we thought were going to come in this past week to start showing up. Maybe not. However, since I don't know if or when that's going to happen, right now we're going to be talking about safeties. The ones that we have rather than the ones we're currently trying to get. Looking at the numbers by the year, who has 1 year, 2 year, 3, 4, that sort of thing. And this is West Virginia Football Going Deep. I'm Forrest Poston. Some of you know that, some of you don't. I think I'm one of the ones that does. And please subscribe, share, and share that again and again and again. Make comments, click thumbs up, and maybe the notification bell, and that'll help me out a lot. And I'll be able to talk to more people, and that'll make me happy. And I'm sure everybody out there had their goal for today, making me happy. All right. Safeties. Guys who, this is it. 1 year, they're done, and then it's see what happens for them afterwards. That would be Burks and Wilson. Now, that's a pretty darn good pair to have. Burks, last year was not the season we really hoped for, but it was good, a bit erratic the second half, largely, because, well, let's say partly, I think, because of the injury and just the psychological recovery. And also, I think he sometimes was trying too hard to compensate for the problems at the linebacker position, and that pretty much always makes things worse. But Wilson, you're pretty tired of people talking about his height. No, he's not tall. He's a gamer. He's as much of a gamer as anybody else on the team. The guy is built like a wall, and was coming on at the end of last season, like a lot of the team. That's something, if you look at 2022, how some guys were coming on, that showed in 23. In 23, we had guys coming on late. That's going to show in 24. Wilson was stepping up from a lower level conference, and he had not really had to work on coverage. It wasn't what he was asked to do. He was run support. So look at what he was doing late more than what he did early. And he had a beautiful interception last year. And I think we'll see some more of that this year. Now, playing with them will be Joseph, who has 2 years. And as a trio, and we may have 3 safeties on the field, because when one of these guys is playing spear, the spear is more of a safety. So we may be seeing Joseph, Wilson, and Burks on the field all at the same time. Where on the field Burks will be, he'll play a lot at spear, but I think he'll move side to side and back and forth. He'll be everywhere, and teams are going to have to look for him. It's going to play to his strengths. Since Coach Brown took over, they have been having to find ways to make what they have work. And they've often been working without the right pieces. This year will really be the year they can work with what they want to do more than what they have to make do. It was showing some last year, but injuries on defense once again really just, ripped the plans apart, made them start over. So using Burks to his advantage, to what he can do best rather than just what the team needs, is going to make a big difference. I mean, Burks could just, people talk about a breakout year, and they don't necessarily mention Burks because he's been good. But he could step up enough to call it a breakout year, and that would be impressive. And now, of course, we don't really know entirely, or Joseph is new. Expectations are high. We'll see about the reality. But thing is, I'm not sure with Wilcox. I needed to recheck that and forgot to do it. Wilcox either has 1 year or 2 years. Of course, he's a walk-on who's been borderline getting to, almost gets a scholarship but doesn't. He's not a starter player. He's a, potentially a very good backup and excellent special teams. But Joseph and Wilcox in the 1 to 2 year range, that's all we got. There is a gap there. I think 2024 is going to be a big year for the safeties, including Spear. But 2025 is going to be the question mark year. Depends on how players step up, but there's a good chance we'll still need a portal player at safety next year. Maybe 2, I'd say 1. I think we're going to see fewer and fewer portal, players coming in because we're going to be not just getting better players, but keeping more of them. Some will go. But 25, we got a gap. Technically, we've still got a gap in 26, but I don't think it'll be an issue then. Coming up next, then we get one of the Jackson brothers. Both are still listed at corner, but one's playing corner in practice, one's at safety, and I forget which is which. One's a little bigger. And we have Tagaloa Nelson. And we haven't seen these guys. They haven't had the chance to be on the field, show us, we hear good things from the coaches. How good are they? They need to be ready to give some plays this year, which will help us get a sense of how good they are. But we need probably 10 to 15 plays out of each of them this year. We have to be able to rotate and give safeties more of a break. Now, of course, there'll be times when we have 3 safeties on the field when the Spear is one of the safeties. Other times we may have 2 or even just 1, because this defense is going to flex around a lot, I'm pretty sure. So, that gives them breaks, but we need backups who can play and who do play, especially because they need the experience. And of course, if these guys improve, then the gap in 25 doesn't matter. Now, the freshmen, the guys with 4 to 5, depending, years left, we have Boyce and Jennings already on campus. Boyce will, now he's listed as a defensive back, so he might bounce around between safety and corner. And Jennings listed as a Spear, and that's where he's likely to play primarily, but could move back to cat or free if needed. And Jennings, Jennings he's going to play this year. I think his red shirt is probably toast, and a lot of that will be at Spear, not just special teams. Boyce could play a lot, but probably mostly special teams if he plays much. He's got a good shot, again, high ceiling, and he got here early. We also have Jason Cross coming in. He's on campus. I don't know if he's enrolled because we do still technically have that scholarship issue, 87 guys for 85 spots. There was a suggestion that the agreement in the House lawsuit eliminated the scholarship limit, but that hasn't been confirmed. Don't know if it's true. Maybe 87 is fine. Some of the guys on campus are evidently here but haven't enrolled this summer term, are waiting for the next summer term. That may be because somebody is going to graduate after this term and retire. I don't know. And just waiting to see. But reports are that guys are on campus anyway. And Cross looks to be a good one. And a ball hawk safety. So, I mean, you know, our interception rate should go up this year and the following years, which will be a good thing. Cross could play, you know, some safety this year. Coming in early would have helped, you know, but I expect him to really contribute on special teams. He could make a big impact on special teams. And we do, of course, have to wait and see. Fall camp will tell us a little bit, and the games will tell us a lot more if we get announcers who mention players. I'm old enough, I remember when announcers actually noticed what was happening and told you. But I dare say with as many games as they're broadcasting, they don't have anywhere near as many spotters to feed information to the announcers. So anyway, talent and numbers look good at the front and back end. 2024 super, and then, you know, the freshman class, really, we've got another one or two guys coming in who could play safety. Some of the safeties and corners are still going to bounce around, so that's a bit uncertain. I didn't list them. But the defensive back class for this year, this year is great. But they're not going to solve all problems this year. Corner we're a little better off. I don't think there's a real gap. Safety, we do have that gap. Doesn't concern me too much, and I trust the coaches if something needs to be filled. But the defense for 2024, safeties, very good. I'll repeat something I said before. This should be one of the top 3 defenses in the conference. And it will be a major reason why West Virginia wins the conference championship. Whether it's Utah, Arizona, or anybody else they beat, I think they do it. And they do it partly with ball hawking defense. All right, guys. I do thank you for dropping in. I got to go check and see again if any of the recruiting news has been updated. We are expecting word on a defensive commit, but when, who, don't know. Got guesses, but we'll leave the guesses for when things are a little less uncertain. I'll go take a look. Thanks for dropping in, and I'll talk to you later. You know I will. So long.